Alright, welcome back. Last time, I've been recovering from that big war, economically and diplomatically. There's been some oddities thanks to the political system being out of whack. But it should be gone soon, the forced regime change. Just another 9 months. Just another 9 months. Additionally, the British Congo is now independent. So, yes. They also have about, okay, they had 90% turmoil, but it's been dropping down to about 50%, so it does look like they're not going to have any super duper revolutionary thing happening. UN member. Huh. That's something I don't really have any knowledge of, so... Is there something new in the journal system that allows me to become a new UN member, or... Is that journal system? Not really. Yeah, my government has 4 legitimacy. Don't worry, this will get fixed soon enough. Ignore the fact that there are now almost as many radicals as there are loyalists. And the loyalist number is no longer half my population. It's about 10% my population. I'm sure it's part of the reason why my anarcho-syndicalists now have 11.5% clout. Fourth biggest in the country, out of all the interest groups. It's also weird that the market liberals are getting as much influence as they can. I can't even add new parties to the government. Really? Add new members to the Liberal Party? Jeez. Right. I need a lot more bureaucracy generation, which is not that fun because, well, I don't actually need the taxation capacity anymore. I need raw bureaucratic power. In theory, I could get more once I get to networking protocols, but that sounds like a long ways away. Yeah, tier 7 tech. Rudimental e-government is tier 8. It is a massive increase to taxation capacity. Belgian attitude worsened. You're an insignificant power. I guess that's why the rivalry ended. Because I'm now considered a major power. Bottom of the list, yes, but still a major power. You're independent now. Why are you so angry? Jeez, there are a bunch of leftist imperialists, aren't there? Because they want my coastal states. Nothing I can do about that. The Dutch and the UK are behind it. So those citizens who have a massive army, although I doubt it's actually all that advanced. Come on, give me trench infantry, shrapnel artillery, lancers. Yeah, okay. In the meantime, I'm trying to reduce other expenses where I can by increasing the amount of telephones and radios being produced. The problem is that radios are huge when it comes to pop consumption. And quite a few people are using telephones too. Someone's got airports set up. And yes, I keep getting mass migration. It is fun, I must admit. Getting so many people that it's no longer any sort of issue, employment. Though I do wish I had more comp. Trade centers can only get so much. And it's also funny getting multiple mass migrations from the same country. It is rather silly. I guess I could use some increased meat production. Problem is, coal is not cheap. At the very least, I need to wait until I can get more fuel set up. Specifically oil. Of course, I only have so many oil rigs, but I can always produce more fuel, and in more efficient manners, with the oil refineries. There we go. I can upgrade to modern heavy tanks. I need one more artillery and tank. And also an electronic component. I don't have many heavy tanks, so that's not going to be that big of a deal yet. Artillery is chronically underproduced now that I use tanks instead of actual artillery, so it's not a problem there. It's the electronic components that I'm a little leery on, since I don't produce that many. And I'm working on it, but it's still the case that I don't produce that many electronic components, so... Plus, I'm just about there to maxing out the throughput of this government administration, which is also the one that's being bolstered by the skyscraper. Of course, it's most efficient to build it up in places there I actually do need more taxation capacity. I should also probably check where taxation capacity might be an issue soon. Not there. Not there. No. No. Not really. Soon? It's about a level away. No. 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 Working on that right now. Maybe it's a couple levels away. Not really. No. Not at all. Okay. There is an infrastructure issue. I can resolve that pretty... Wait. I should always check first to see if... Yeah, private queue's building it up, so it's not a problem. There's also the fact that I need to work towards getting plastic production up in order to start transitioning glass production away from pure lead. Because it's actually a serious issue. It's also the fact that raw materials, steel is no longer doing too well. It's because I've already maxed out my iron mining capability. The problem is I still need more steel. I also could use more batteries, but I think I'm working on that. I've worked on it a bit, and it's already faded away. How much am I producing per level? About 69? Okay, so... There. When can I reform the government? The forced regime change is almost gone. It just needs a bit more time. 12 weeks. Okay, just 3 months. Okay, I just need a minute for it to display the effects. I was wondering why there weren't any there. Civil plane. Ooh. Jet aviation. Yeah, more efficient plane production would be helpful. Amphibious warfare is a smart idea too. Paratroopers would be fun, wouldn't they? Oh yeah, really. After that, I don't think I can go any further. The MBT requires, televisions. Yep, televisions. I have no idea where those are, but they're probably somewhere in Tier 6 or Tier 7. Photovoltaic event, that's... no. Green Revolution, no. Tool, silicon, rudimental appliances. Consumer electronics building is probably it. Home appliances. Or cathode tube. There it is. Yeah, it's literal televisions. Okay. Right, after that, after the Tier 7 military tech, I need to slow down and focus on production tech. And probably also society tech too. I'm almost done with Tier 4 though, so... antitoxins is almost done. Then I can get to analytical philosophy in order to get that production method booster for universities. I technically don't need it, but it will increase tech spread, which severely helps. Plus, I can guaranteed max out, well, okay, push harder on map height to make it even more likely that I'll have it maxed out. Because stuff happens. Mosquito mass migration. There's not that many mosquito people, so... oh boy, that's a lot of turmoil. Over there. Okay, maybe not that many. I don't need that much excess bureaucracy. And it's gonna be pretty bad once it gets back under shape, the bureaucracy. Back into shape. Ooh, Bihari mass migration. Oh wow, okay, I need media content. How about I just double my... yeah, just double construction. The real problem is paper. Again. It's always paper, isn't it? The syndicalists are no longer powerful. Yeah, it's the instability. It's making the ideological interest groups more and more interesting. Political agitation not developed? Support due to political rigidity, yep. Yeah, when throughput increases, especially of unsense. Oh no, not again. What happened to the local power plants? Why is power demand so high here? Who built 64 motor industries here? Because I certainly did not. Come in, I have no qualms against the Japanese people, just the Japanese government. Well, I actually don't have that many qualms about them, they're just weird and annoying. Huh? Yeah, sure. I desperately need diesel fuel pump in certain locations. Electric fuel pump would be great too. I'm aware the investment pool can easily afford way more construction. It's just that I can't, and I don't fully trust the investment pool. So a lot of the stuff is constructed by companies. That's why there's still steel mills being built, despite it all. But yes, I can now add rocket artillery as a mobilization option. Stick to using it only in the, well, offensive armies. Because if it's pure offense, there's no reason to use it in the defensive armies, which are there specifically to maintain defense. Ah, okay. Okay, I can finally go back to secularizing again. Okay, so how do airports work? They produce transportation, okay. Yee, mass migration. Does leave me wondering where my biggest textile mills are. I'm gonna swap them over to mobile warfare tactics. That explains a lot. Okay, yeah, a lot of that is trade center. Oh, okay, yep. Oh, there's another one? Where? Over in Smaller-Wand. Of course, that's the location where I need to increase it. Yay. Right, what I was wondering about was the quantity of... Why did I click on all development buildings? There we go. Yeah, they're really spread out, aren't they? Gondor's a good spot. There is a lot of people here, and there aren't any actual problems with more construction here, so... Outside the fact that I need to build more power plants. A lot more power plants. In the area. Outer Hustle needs more, but I can't really do much about it. The woes of electricity production. Can't wait till I can start using oil-fired plants. Those will produce a good bit more electricity at the cost of using some oil. But coal is starting to become severely problematic, and I can always use heavy fuel oil instead of oil, which are just a lot better. But hopefully the increase in media production will lower costs of the university itself. Actually, because of that, annexed country, 211 infamy. Get to know that Japan won't do anything about it. Okay, what if I just try conquering a state? Italy would support, Austria-Hungary might, French maybe, no. Russia might, US probably, Canada might. Great. The Dutch want to conquer Massini. Electricity shortage. What's going on over here? Who keeps building up steel mills? We don't need more of that stuff. Jeez, I hope that company stops building those. If you're gonna build anything, build build alloys. Alloy plants are very useful. I'm going to need them. Or, you know, more trade centers would also be quite helpful. Focus your efforts on trade. Ensuring mobility of goods to and from the world market to ensure that my own shortcomings aren't too much of a problem. Pretty important. I just wish I had more land. Yeah, I do have a lot of excess oil, so I think I should be good on doubling the number of oil refineries here. Yeah, that won't use up too much in the way of oil. Provide so much more, pretty much all the light fuel I need, and also quite a few lubricants. Lubricants are insanely difficult to get. Surprisingly difficult to get, considering how important they are. Like, really important. Come on in. Yeah, I need more companies. These will continue to help keep things under control. Miniaturization. That's the last of the tier 4 techs. I'm going to go tier 5 tech spreading in a minute. There we go. Just need for everything to finish. Yep, compression ignition. Excellent. That allows me to start moving, well, getting mass production on the automobiles. Honestly, I don't know why the Dutch are considered socialists. They act like a bunch of reactionaries anyway. They keep siding with the regular Europeans. Okay, Germany still uses squad infantry. Jeez, the modernization of the various groups is so inconsistent. Okay, I'm not particularly scared of Russia. I just gotta find a target that's easy enough for me to handle. The problem is how rarely those exist. It's a bit scary. A one-on-one fight with France would be interesting. They do have modern tanks, but only a few of them, and they also have modern mechanized infantry. I'd like to be able to see their exact stats, but I can't exactly do that. They're also a bit busy. Oh wow, so many. A lot of people hate me, don't they? Yeah, if I go up against France, I should wait until India's done being busy. France seems to be the easiest target, paradoxically. Because while there is some support for them, it's really only in a limited sense. Because everyone else has some sort of great power, like Italy, backing them. Or the USA, or Russia, or Canada. Canada counts, I think. Yeah, the number 8. pretty much my only chance is to conquer the Niger region and have people come in. Don't worry too much about it. There will be room for them all. Welfare payments are increasing. It's weird because it's not like the unemployed numbers seem to be decreasing somewhat. Because requirements are just increasing. Really what I need is public works. Push it through fast, please. I'm sure Nakma chance is. No, it's not. Government doesn't have enough clout to guarantee it. What if I swapped to the Communist Party? The Communists don't actually have that much in the way of voting support. It's a current raw population. Surprisingly, the Conservative Party still exists. Push the correct button, please. There we go. Jingoist. Oh boy. It's actually popular. At the very least, he's not a vanguardist, unlike the previous one, so they're far more democratic than they usually are. That again. Tibetans are coming in. Excellent. $120 at least, and that's per army. Oh, jeez. But hey, I can move to this now. The thing is, aluminum just isn't produced much. really what's annoying is that warplanes are only used in that manner, military stuff. So if you don't constantly have those active, they're just gonna burn a hole. Might be better just to stick it on no aeroplane production and just leave it at that until you can actually produce this stuff, until you need this stuff. Just have enough sitting around. So that you can use it when you need to. I think it's fading. Yeah, professional military reforms are starting to fade away. At this point, I don't think it's particularly worth it to specifically go for it, so... Yeah. The paratroopers will be the last military tech I got for a while. It's the Manhattan Project atomic bomb and all that. Space rocketry will be for later. Besides, space rocketry isn't actually that useful, because space assets aren't used for much, unlike in most of the Cold War stuff, the Cold War mods. Space assets, not really used. Let me go over the aerospace industries again. Let's see, probes. Space assets. Okay, telecoms does use it, but I don't think it's that much. Let me find a state that does telecoms. There we go. There it is, satellite comms network. Probably should set up at least one small alloys plant to produce aluminum. This... Yeah, why not here? There we go. Public work should make things faster with construction. Oh, with antitoxin, mortality is reduced, which improves population growth. Not necessarily the most the best thing to happen, but yeah, I think this time Carta's going revolutionary. Not that I can actually reach them, so probably proceed to become nothing. Wait. Are the revolutionaries gonna win in this case? That would be impressive. Here. Yeah. Do it at the front. Put it at the front of the line. I did not create that company in order to produce more motors. I created that company in order to produce more automobiles. So please do that. Okay, the more motors was also part of the thing, but still. I will be getting a lot more motors once I have that internal combustion engine. Yeah, well. Compression ignition. Someone conquered a lot of territory there. Something got a lot cheaper. I think it's time for me to start building up more construction again. I already maxed out construction here? Nope. 5 more levels to that construction center. Is it gonna cause oddities? Probably. Because Singles finally have more influence in the government, that gives me some more room to maneuver. Should it become important? Koreans. Wait. Why does the Japanese flag change again? Did they? Yep, they went to Republic. Frickin' Republican communists. Tax waste. There's a lack of taxation in Amhara. Yep. Known that for a while. No. Huh? Gondor, Romeo, Amhara. Oh, there's turmoil. Must be sheer unemployed people. Yeah. That's the thing, I don't exactly have room for them. Best I can do is construct more. Well, okay, so this is doing luxury furniture, so... And I could definitely use more, especially... No? No, that's actually from trade centers. Okay. Get more of that set up. I could really use it. Anyway, so how petrochemical doing? Doing better. I can transition to producing more houseware plastics. In order to get glass production up. This one is a rough one to do, I must admit. Especially with how much it requires electricity in order to make the switch over. But it is lower in the requirement of lead, which is very good. And it is using up a lot of my wood production, which is very good because I have so much wood I don't know what to do with it. The only problematic component is water. I need that stuff pretty badly. And it's going to be a while before I can get to more advanced water production. And it doesn't help that someone in the past dramatically overbuilt my plantations. Foreign companies. Vanguardists, yeah, those tend to be jingoistic, aren't they? Jingoists oppose that sort of thing, don't they? Honestly, I could use more rigidity, so state media it is. I need 6 levels of aerospace industries in order to even think about affording the mobilization of 1 army. I do wish it were more reasonable. Okay, just need room. Oh, it has to be heavy tanks. It can't be modern heavy tanks. So specific. Ah, okay. There's now 2 power blocks. Fun. Quite funny. Now, there's a bauxite shortage. Do I have any bauxite mines? I don't think so. No bauxite mines. Nope, okay. Shower room using only state with oil. There is an at cap already when it comes to usage. Oh, well, okay. It's also a rig slot over here. Horizontal perforation would be really useful, but horizontal drilling is a tier 7 tech, so. Okay, reform the government. Grand Coalition is the most reasonable one. Now that is interesting. Oh. They're the only ones with mandate? That's... Why are they the only ones with mandate? Okay, so... They're all competent now, so that helps. Oh, I can see why. The Social Democrats are just falling apart. Just let me handle this. Still, okay. Guess that's enough? Yeah, it is enough. To maintain the one army. Let me guess, they prefer censorship, don't they? No, it's just nothing. Okay, so that war is up. My foreign policy shifted. Jingoism. Oh, we're both involved in here. Well, at the very least it means Canada's busy, so... This is Russia, so... I mean, if I wanted to fight off Italy and the USA at the same time, yeah. I'm worried about the potential that Austria-Hungary presents. But I need to move my navy. Back to HQ you go. That's a lot more plastic than I expected. Okay, fine. Back to crystal glass it is. Continue focusing on smaller ones first. Hmm? No, I think you actually need the investment too. Yeah, you need to ensure that your own economy is under control. You have so many unemployed people. In fact, that's probably the reason why I'm getting so much immigration. Yeah, certain locations are capable of producing geothermal power. It's probably wherever volcanoes exist. Yep. Okay. That at least confirms that. At least to phase 2? No. Okay. Then I can bring the communists over and that will solve the issue. That would lower usage of oil. Uranium glass would also be interesting as a way to get more porcelain. It does take uranium though. A good portion of the stuff here isn't actually useful. Gotta go oil turbine and vacuum distillation. Synth rubber would be really useful, wouldn't it? Just more rubber production. It's gonna almost double automobile production, which will finally make it reasonable in cost. Oh, right, there is a lot of oil rigs here. Potential for oil, anyway. Yeah, I need to start thinking about automation again. Especially since considering even with the combustion engine derricks. Yeah, the power requirements are... I mean, transportation with oil rigs is bad. It just doesn't... It's just fairly expensive. And doesn't make much sense utility-wise. I should put that closer to the front. I could really use oil. Okay, maybe not that much oil, but... More refineries, please. Mass production basically doubles most costs in order to get almost, well, input costs. Doubles the input costs of fuel, engines, and alloys in order to almost double automobile production. Sure, it produces twice as much pollution too, but the sheer number of automobiles produced, extremely useful. It should be done soon. Extremely soon. Like a 2-week sort of time span. So I must say I have to pause the session for the moment. Yeah, government's back in shape, although radical number has been increasing lately, annoyingly. I'm not actually entirely sure why. It might be the movements. It might be the movements. Especially considering that it's in East Hausaland, the biggest quantity of them. Although the charts are, well, okay. The population charts are a bit broken. Might be unemployment, I don't know. My standard of living has hovered around 25, which might be why. Increase, decrease, etc. The Aussie's fare movement is being incredibly annoying. Leftovers of the upper class. Sadly, I can't maneuver things like that, so I can't get rid of them entirely. Not unless I nationalize all of them. That would be funny. That would be extremely funny. I may think about that, but yeah. I'm trying to get state media passed. Sway. Stage public debate. There. Because having zero influence, the no free speech interference actually has some issues for technical stuff. Oh jeez, what happened to the pen here? Still right? Nope. Okay, broken pen. Lovely. Yeah, the pen internally exploded. I can only tell because it's see-through. There's some stains on top, so... Great. It was fine beforehand. Anyway, completely off topic, so... I'm thinking of going after France. Counterintuitively, they're the easiest target. There's too many that are willing to help the Congo. Okay, actually it's not as many as it was before. Can I take on the US too? I mean, the US are busy. And India would be willing to join in. So long as I don't overdo it with the amount of territory I try to conquer off of them, it would be fine. Especially considering there's a massive amount of copper here. And coal too. The rubber plantations are a bonus. I'll try not to cut them off completely from the outside world, although that would be funny. Oh, they still have a lot of radicals, so it's lower than last time I checked. So their country is slowly improving its situation. Right. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.